Hello everyone and welcome to episode 28 of 6 out of 7 podcast. I'm Liam.
And I'm Alan.
We're in Alan's flat.
We're in the flat. I feel like it's very echoey right now.
That's good.
It's good. It's like we're in a big place.
I always add a bit of reverb.
Oh, smashing.
It fills it, so maybe I want you to do that this week. Going to talk about Quentin Tarantino films.
He's alright.
Is this it? Is this started? No, we're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino as a person, his films, and probably most of the episode will be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, I've been watching The Boys, which is okay, I think.
Is it though? Like, is it okay, or is it just more superior nonsense? Like, do we need more TV shows like The Boys, or do we need more like Marvel stuff? Is it Marvel stuff?
It's not Marvel stuff. It's not DC stuff. I don't think, but I think it's making fun of it. You know, it's tongue in cheek.
Didn't Deadpool already do that?
Yeah, but I'd rather watch that than Ryan Reynolds.
Right. Okay.
He's a headache.
So I'm not into superhero stuff, so I'm like.
Have you seen it, The Boys?
No, I've not seen it. I was going to see it, but then people kept talking about it, and I thought I'm too cool for it.
It's cool to watch it though.
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's one of them. It's like, I've watched The Boys. I'm a fucking badass.
Right. So we'll talk about Tarantino, and then you can talk about The Boys.
Okay. Right. Okay. So in general, Quentin Tarantino, the crazy fuck that he is. What's your opinion?
I don't like him as a person. He's a bit batshit, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It's good for interviews though. I like every time he's on an interview and just says, "I'm shutting your butt down," or it says, "I refute the basis of the question" or something.
I refuse your hypothesis. That was his latest one, which I think is just how you can just come up with that off the cuff.
It'd be a great like customer service side, wouldn't it? Mm. When someone comes up to you with like a complaint, I reject your hypothesis.
I reject, not refuse. I think he's just like he's the last, apart from Scorsese, like it's people are going to see his film because
written and directed. Yeah, there's like the whole idea of the auteur, the sort of like person that is like the creative force behind the film. I don't know if it is just Scorsese left. I think it's like Christopher Nolan as well.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's definitely a few of them kicking about. But it's because of like Marvel. You don't need to have a big auteur to direct a movie anymore.
I think we actually said this last week or a few weeks ago, but it's like with Marvel films, they've already got the set piece lined up, so you don't need someone to come in with an artistic vision.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, you just need someone to be like, put that together, these scenes together, the talking scenes. Yeah. You know,
I was talking to someone, I think it was a few days ago, it was after Apocalypse Now, where we're talking about films and how, like, films don't really, especially like multiplex films, don't really reflect anything about, like, the human condition anymore. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, Apocalypse Now is definitely very much, like, about man's inhumanity to man. And, like, how everyone's awful.
The horror.
War is hell, the horror, all of that. Like, you don't need a director for a Marvel film to be thinking about that. No. Because they're literally just selling tickets. That's their game plan.
Yeah.
They're not trying to tell anything about anything really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Whereas like Tarantino's maybe trying to like talk about some serious subjects.
Not so much in this one, I would say.
Well, no, I would disagree.
I didn't get any feel of any. Well, I don't think from any of these films I can really like. They're still entertainment to me, not in the same way that like Guardians of the Galaxy is.
See, this is why Quentin Tarantino is like loved. Like he's very accessible as like a director. Mm-hmm. And it's like his films still kind of like grapple with like certain issues. Like we'll get into it, but we'll talk about like Jackie Brown. That's like blaxploitation. It's like it's all about like racial politics and stuff like that. Whereas like the Spider-Man Far From Home wasn't about any of that.
No, it's not about anything. But it's entertainment.
It is entertainment.
It's entertainment, and I think one of his main positives from his films is the dialogue.
Yeah.
Like as soon as like Reservoir Dogs, as soon as they're talking about the Madonna song, as grim as the conversation is, it's pretty horrible looking back, but. Especially listening to it in 2019, but you're sucked in and you're like you want to know what these characters are talking about and everyone's opinions and stuff like that. So
he definitely does have a flair for writing, like at least for like dialogue. He is an awful person though. I feel like an awful person might be putting it too far, but he's definitely a weirdo. He's into all sorts of weird fetishes.
He's into the feet.
He's into the feet.
Yeah.
What else is he into?
Did he not almost kill Uma Thurman?
Yeah, he did almost kill Uma Thurman. Like. Did he know about Weinstein?
Yeah,
he must have done. Like,
what really happened with that? Like, what was his? Obviously, he wasn't like he's still a great person when all that came out.
Well, he tried to separate himself a little bit, which is understandable. But like, Tarantino and Weinstein were like best buds, sort of in the early 2000s, late 90s. Like, they must have known something. Like, going back to like the 80s with like Savile, like Johnny Rotten, who didn't even know like Savile was like making accusations of Savile, like it was a very open secret.
Yeah.
Whereas like Tarantino must have known something.
Sure. He's a weirdo, but he makes good films to some extent.
He does make good films. I do enjoy the sort of like, I think there's like a YouTube clip of him like getting like shot by paparazzis
outside
like,
Starbucks in the snow.
Yeah, it's like some damn good coffee.
Yeah, and he's just but he can kind of understand that because he probably doesn't want the limelight and he doesn't want to be shot when he's just trying to get a coffee.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you can understand why he is like, what are you doing? Can you not have a conversation with me? Do you know what I mean? Whereas
it's weird. It's not like he's an actor or anything like that.
No, yeah.
I think there's some degree of like performance with actors like being in sort of the spotlight for like the public, whereas like he's like one of the few directors that would be recognised by people. I think that may be because he has played parts in these films, but like if I said to people like that didn't like watch films regularly, like who is Martin Scorsese, and they have to pick him out of the lineup, they wouldn't be able to, surely.
They wouldn't be able to.
Would they?
Well, if you had normal people and then Quentin Tarantino with his crazy face, I think you're probably going to be like, that guy maybe sticks out a little. Who's he been married to? Has he been married to like anyone?
Was he not married? No. Who was Uma Thurman married to for a while?
Ethan Hawke, yeah.
Don't know who. Is Quentin Tarantino married? Did he ever get married?
I don't know. Right, comment below if you're listening. Quentin Tarantino. Who have you been married to? But yeah, he likes feet. He does like feet.
That's the big selling point of his personality, isn't it? That's just like...
Yeah. And he's getting into dirty feet from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Does love some dirty feet now.
Yeah, but I think overall with him, I would always still go... I heard someone said, he said in an interview that if Once Upon a Time does well, like critically, then he won't do another one, but if it doesn't, he's going to come back and do another one, and then there's talks of him doing a Star Trek film and stuff like that. I think I would always go and see stuff.
Yeah, just by virtue of like, there's nothing else out, especially right now.
Like, in general, do you mean?
Well, so like, in general, but like especially this week in terms of cinema.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you meant this week or like ever. Well, like you're like, there's nothing good.
Nothing good coming. Nothing due to be slated coming.
Yeah.
Nothing is barren the wasteland for the next 10 years.
Yeah, right now, like if you're not going to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and you're not seeing Spider-Man again, then you're seeing Blinded by the Light, which no one wants to do.
Or like what, The Art of Racing in the Rain,
which I wanted to see.
That Kevin Costner.
Steph was like, nah. He's a dog. He's going to die.
He's a philosophical dog called Enzo.
He's going to die.
He is going to die. Or is he going to die? Maybe they're just going to diminish expectations. That's the big thing right now, isn't it? Or like all the marketing points that he's going to die. But maybe he won't. Maybe the driver dies.
It's the same guys that made Marley and Me, and I think Marley is the dog. I've never seen it.
I've never seen Marley.
Dies, I think.
Marley is the dog, and Marley does die.
So I'm assuming one-trick ponies. The dog needs to die in those guys' film. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, let's discuss it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
At length.
What, a whole length?
Let's dissect it. So, this is the first film not to be associated with the Weinsteins, and Sony won distribution rights after like meeting demands of Quentin Tarantino, which included him getting a final cut of the film, which when I was watching it, I was like, spoilers for it by the way, if you've not seen it, don't listen or whatever, but when I was watching it, I was like, this is incredibly safe, and I was starting to think that maybe that's because the Weinsteins aren't involved and aren't just like, you can do what you want.
They might not be involved, but also like, didn't you used to work with a long time editor? I can't remember her name, but it was a woman that worked on like Pulp Fiction, worked on Jackie Brown, worked on, I think she worked with him right up until Inglourious Bastards. And obviously she's out of the picture now, so there's not that sort of other creative force behind the film to like kind of rein it in a wee bit.
Yeah.
So it can be like, I think the issue with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that it can become a bit indulgent sometimes, a bit too slow, a bit too even like dialogue heavy at points. Like there's a little bit too much of the Tarantino-ness, like his trademarks that are put in there.
I would disagree.
Yeah.
I would say there's not enough
of
that. There's no. Again, spoilers. Don't listen because I'm just going to like spoil it. But up until the last 20 minutes. There's no, and not that it needed it, no like racial language, there's no horrible, there's no characters talking about like horrible shit. Even when I tried to watch Jackie Brown yesterday, I got like an hour in and I was like, this is so boring, I'm turning this off. But like Samuel Jackson just cutting about his flat with Robert De Niro, they're just talking, like swearing. Yeah. There's none of that. There's no, it's so safe that I was like, this doesn't feel like a Tarantino film.
That might be the reason why I didn't enjoy it so much, because I thought I thought it didn't have a plot. I thought it was very incoherent. I thought it was just like little bits of story kind of drip fed to you, and it didn't really have that sort of whole narrative arc to it. Like, there wasn't anything to it. Like, there wasn't like a coherent beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah,
there was just things happening.
But you could obviously say that for Pulp Fiction, which is one of his best. Like that it doesn't have.
Yeah, but like
it's not linear.
That was the start of the style, and there definitely is action kind of set pieces that happen that kind of drive it forward. Whereas I can't really think of anything in Hollywood that does that the same way. Like there's the auditions, like spoilers. Just going to get into it. We can't avoid it.
Yeah,
going to get right into it. But halfway through the film, Rick Cahill, the character played by Leonardo DiCaprio, gets into he's a Western. He's a pilot for a TV show.
Yeah.
And that's probably like one of the better sort of episodes of the film, I would say, where he's like just trying to come to terms with being like a villain or being like a B actor in Hollywood, and that's kind of like some of my favourite parts of it.
Yeah, sure.
But aside from that, there's not really any kind of like action in the film, aside from really like driving around Hollywood and just seeing the sights, or like just like going from A to B.
Yeah, which is one of my pluses of the film, because
it looks great.
The amount they've spent, it's 90 million is the budget for the film, and I would be surprised if not including the actor's fee, but like a lot of that has went on, because there's not one part where you're like, this doesn't look, even when he's like pulling up and parking in his house and he's got that big painting of him as like a cowboy or whatever it's meant to be.
It's a part of a poster that's in his flat.
Right, okay. But even him parking the car like at his house looks just so authentic and looks so realistic, so I can't really fault it by anything about how it looks or the performances.
Do you reckon that his house plus the sort of street is a set rather than like actual location? It must be a set.
Do you think so?
I think it's a set.
That's insane.
I feel like it's just one huge set.
I suppose it's like a wee cul-de-sac he lives in, but there's like 4 houses, and then Sharon Tate's house is further up.
There's one house, and then there's the Tate house, the Polanski household, and then that's it.
Is there not a few on the offsides?
I didn't see any.
Right, well, if you're right, then probably it's a set, but I assumed it was a actual location.
Place. It may be. You never know.
But
it looks stunning though. Like the whole production looks great. Even like when Brad Pitt is like driving around the city, and you see all these kind of like old-timey like the 60s like storefronts and things like that. There's like strip clubs and stuff getting about, and it looks seedy. Yeah, like how Hollywood should. It looks fantastic. Yeah, there's a part where everything lights up. It's like Taco Bell, and there's like a German fast food place and stuff like that. And it's not like you know these places. You've seen them 100 times before, but it just looks so amazing. And like that's the beginning of the Verbat, isn't it? That's the beginning of the end, where they go into the. It's almost like a sort of like. Noir TV show kind of thing, where it's like a detective show, like FBI, which plays a huge role in the film. Yeah, did you like the parts where he's like put into like there's a part he's in The Great Escape? Yeah, right. So there are parts of the film where Leonardo DiCaprio is superimposed into older films or like older TV shows, and some of it works. Like the FBI part. 100%. Yeah, works. That's great. Yeah, it's seamless. Whereas like in The Great Escape part where he replaces the Steve McQueen character, it's less good. I still liked it though. It's kind of funny. Yeah. But it doesn't look. It's a little bit Family Guy though. Like there's a lot of the film that's spent characters talking, and then there's literally like a cutaway to like a little sketch, and it feels like Family Guy. I think it feels like Family Guy, but I think if they were going to do that, they didn't do it enough. Mm-hmm. They didn't establish a tone with it. Like there's a whole. I think there's like 4 or 5 different cutaways in the actual film, and it's 2.5 hours long. So every time it happens, it feels out of place. Yeah, sure. Whereas like if we got introduced to a new character, and then all of a sudden we were getting a cutaway to their backstory, it would be a lot more consistent and a lot more coherent. Yeah. I think that's the issue I have with the film. It's just like there's lots of little decisions that don't really work for me because it is not implemented enough. Yeah. No, I agree. Who are we to like sit here in a flat in Glasgow and be like, Quentin Tarantino, this was a half-baked film, do you know what I mean? But it is, like, there's a bit, Kurt Russell narrates, like, 3 parts of the film, and it's just like, you think it's going to come back to it, but he never does. It feels like the entire film should be like that, but it's not. It's literally, like, the last 40 minutes, the first 10 minutes, and then that's about it, I think. Yeah. It's not enough. Yeah. It just feels half-baked. Yeah, that's the issue. It's like, I said this to you yesterday, but like when you're watching The Big Lebowski, it's like there's a plot going on, but you like spending time with the dudes. That's why you watch the film, because you like spending time with it. And that's kind of what this film feels like, but I didn't like spending time with many of the characters. I didn't like Brad Pitt or Leo in the film. I liked their performance, but I didn't like the characters. Yeah. I feel like from the moment we're introduced to them, and then we spend about 45 minutes we know everything about them.
Yeah.
They don't have any kind of transformative performance about it. There's nothing that changes in their character.
Yeah.
Like, we get to know them in 45 minutes, and then that's them for 2 hours. I mean, it's not a good time to be with them.
Yeah, it's still very good performances, but yeah, it's not. No one. They come back from Italy at the end, and you think like, oh, this is going to be like someone that's going to change. And yeah, they do kind of like decide. He says, "I can't afford to have you around anymore," but it doesn't really change their. I don't know what the film was meant to be about, because we'll get to the very last scene in a minute, but at the end he goes away in an ambulance, Brad Pitt's character, and Leo's like, I'll come with you, and Brad Pitt's like, no, go in with your wife and I'll see you tomorrow.
So is it about like their relationship?
Friendship, I guess? Or
they like each other, but do they? Like, I feel like they're just with each other because there's no other options.
But I feel like Leo is keeping him about because there's no other options, but Brad Pitt really likes spending time with him.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
So if we looked at both characters, like, I don't think Leo could, or what's his name, Rick Cahill? That's his name.
Rick Dalton.
He couldn't survive by himself. He couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't like do everything himself. Whereas like Brad Pitt, he used to be like a war hero. Like, he's a handyman. He would do all right.
Yeah,
himself.
sure.
And I have no idea why he is with Rick other than to get acting jobs, which to me it underpins the relationship as being kind of exploitative.
Yeah.
They need each other for like different gains, but they don't really like each other.
Well, there is one bit where Brad Pitt's character Cliff Booth says, I like driving you around, I like hanging about with you. Yeah. So he does have a little feel of like the dude where he's just like going with the flow sort of thing. There's like a backstory of he's killed his wife, but that's mentioned once.
It's mentioned once and it takes a minute.
Yeah.
I would like more of that.
Yeah, like that. I would have liked that's his story to be like, that's the starting point, and then him killing part of the Charles Manson's family to be the end point. Do you know what I mean?
I would have liked throughout the film if there was more like violent outbursts to kind of link into that sort of dark past.
Yeah.
But literally, like, Brad Pitt is the most kind of happy-go-lucky guy in the film. He just doesn't really care about a whole lot.
Yeah.
He just does things. He just exists.
Yeah, which is fine for a character.
And it's fine, but like, I feel like there's something more to him that isn't explored.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I think is disappointing. I think it's a missed opportunity.
There's a part he goes to, like, it's the movie backlot.
The ranch?
Yeah, the ranch where the family are living, Charles Manson family, and he just kind of investigates a little. And that was probably one of my favourite scenes because it was so unsettling.
Yeah. I mean, I think I went to the toilet at that part because it's a really, really long film.
Yeah.
Can't sit there for 2 hours, 40 minutes.
You need to think about what you're going to do before the thing. I wouldn't go in after going to like a pub or anything like that, because you need, like, it's not like if you leave you're going to miss a key point of it. But yeah, I'd like, for the last hour I needed to pee so badly, and I was like constantly thinking this is going to step up a gear, and it never really did until like the last 20 minutes. And I just needed to pee.
It doesn't actually turn into sort of classic Tarantino film until the last 20 minutes, which is good.
Yeah,
it's good that he doesn't like go into the sort of like ultra violence, the sort of gore, the sort of like exploitation B-movie parts of his oeuvre too soon. That he tries to like do something with it, even though it doesn't really do anything with it. Ultimately feel.
So the film ends with 4 members of the family. Robin from Stranger Things is there, which I really enjoyed.
I'm so glad that she left.
Yeah, she survives. She just gets in she's like, I forgot my knife in the car. She goes back and she just drives off. But they're there to kill. Are they there to kill?
They're there to kill. They were right. So there's a whole thing in the car where I think it's text where they say, we're going to kill everyone that's in Terry's house. And Terry's house is Sharon Tate's house. But there's a sort of case of mistaken identity where they bump into Leonardo DiCaprio in the road. Or like, Leo comes out because he's very angry about the noise of their car.
Yeah.
And what is it? The driver texts, I think it is, goes, was that fucking Rick Cahill?
Stop, I don't know, it's Dalton. Dalton.
Oh, isn't Rick Cahill his character on the show?
I don't know, you know better than me, I suppose.
I feel like Cahill is something.
Right, okay. He's got some affiliation. Right, anyway, yeah.
He goes, that was fucking Rick Dalton. And they just kind of get sidetracked and then go and try and kill him instead.
Yeah, the girl in the back is one of the worst characters.
What, the one with the gun? The
one that's like, let's go kill some... No, he says that, text says that, and then she's like, she's oinking, and I was like, oh, she is the worst. Yeah, but maybe you're meant to feel that way because of what's about to come.
I just feel like the trio is so slapstick and so kind of like weird.
It's bizarre, but I didn't need to pee at that point because I enjoyed it so much.
I don't find them menacing. I don't find them like...
I don't think you're meant to.
You're not meant to, but I find it very silly.
Yeah.
The whole get up.
They're like a joke.
Yeah, they are played off for jokes. And I find that kind of problematic with the film as well. Like, I don't think they should be playing off the Manson family as a joke. I think that's kind of like, not disrespectful, but also kind of like weird, like, because they did horrific things.
Well, I was speaking to someone in work, and they were saying that it's the same thing with Hitler and Inglourious. Yeah. Like, it's the biggest fuck you to the Manson family that they can do, like, just making them out to be jokes and not have them kill Sharon Tate in the same way like Hitler getting killed, like getting his face blown off. But I'm like, nah, because this is a real, like, in Inglourious, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't, I don't know, it feels different.
Hitler is such a historically investigated person that he's kind of bigger than the concept of the person. Yeah. Whereas, like, Charles Manson's still alive.
Mm-hmm. No, he died. I think he just died.
Was it maybe like a year ago or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So he's recently died. Like, the horrors that he committed, like the victims of it, are still very much alive.
Sure, and the families.
Yeah, the families, like they'll see the marketing for this movie, and like it feels disrespectful and problematic to me.
Well, that's one of the things I didn't enjoy the most about the film is at the end. Rick comes up and speaks to the guy. He used to be in tons of stuff.
What, Emil Hirsch?
Is he the guy that looks like a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. He's there and he's like, oh, what happened? Like, we survived, sort of thing.
He's in one of my favourite films. What is it? One of my favourite films? It's a film I really enjoy. He's in, have you ever seen Killer Joe? No. With Matthew McConaughey. It's a film by William Friedkin, and it's almost kind of like a Tarantino film.
Okay.
It's just full of like violence and gore, but it's also like really like warped, and it's like a black comedy.
I know Orlando Bloom done that on the stage.
Did he?
Yes. That's the only thing I know about it.
It's so outlandish and weird. It's got like a fellatio scene with a
chicken.
Yeah. And it's so completely odd.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
Have you got it?
I've not got it just now. But
disappointing.
We should watch it, do a Killer Joe episode.
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah, he comes down to like his gate, and Sharon comes through the intercom, and she's like, "Oh, come up for a drink. Like, I survived." And she's actually talking like pure, "Oh, just come up." Like, it's like, what is happening?
So I think Margot Robbie is still doing the voice from Suicide Squad. She's just being Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
She's the worst. Not the worst part in the film, but it cuts away. What's Wrecking Crew she's in?
Yeah.
Like Sharon Tate, and it's the real film.
Yeah.
And it shows her like watching it, and it kind of spends a day with her. She goes to the library to get a book for her husband. What's his fucking name again?
What, Roman Polanski?
Yeah. And but it's just
so there's a whole thing where it's like that was actually part of her like sort of journey to like the murder.
Right.
Where it's like she did actually go out and get Roman Polanski.
No, I totally believe that, because it comes up saying like 3:00. Whatever, do you know what I mean?
Like, so I think it was about 5 years after the instance, Roman Polanski actually directed a film called Tess, which was based on Tessa D'Urbervilles, which was like the last gift that Sharon Tate ever gotten.
That's quite sad.
It's quite sad, but also like, as much as I feel sorry for Roman Polanski,
don't feel sorry for Roman.
I don't feel sorry for him. You know what I mean? Like,
don't give him a standing ovation at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But yeah, I just felt like if I was anyone to do, if I knew her, or it just feels really insensitive to me, because this woman actually was murdered, and then they're having this like, I know it's meant to be like Once Upon a Time, it's like meant to be like a fairy tale sort of thing, but don't have her like alive.
Don't have real characters. Have like a sort of like parable of it.
Yeah.
I would actually think I would much prefer the film if instead of Steve McQueen it was like a character like Steve McQueen. Like see the films like Almost Famous or like Last Days or something like that deal with actual real bands or like real events. They're not real bands, you know what I mean? It's like a warped kind of like version of them.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a lot better implemented here.
Yeah, definitely. Like 100%. Yeah, why not? Do you know what I mean? But I thought that was really insensitive, and the whole fight. So basically, he buys an acid dip cigarette, Cliff Booth, and they're having like their last hurrah before they kind of. Leo's got his new wife. Cliff's going to like go off and like do whatever he's going to do. So he takes his dog, which. I love the dog.
Love the dog.
Yeah, takes out a walk, and he's smoking this acid dip cigarette which he bought from the Manson family, and he comes back, and then they break into his house and he just like fucks them up. Like, with him and the dog.
I think I would have liked that scene more if it was a bit more trippy. Like if like we kind of got his point of view from it. Like if things were like shimmering, as if it was LSD or something like that.
I kind of hate that in films, but where they're a little bit like I think. Not Hereditary. Midsommar does it quite well because it's quite subtle.
It's very subtle.
Things are just moving. Like maybe just like that, but that is not Tarantino to be like.
It's not Tarantino.
Apart from the heroin scene in Pulp Fiction, but he fucks them up like, and then it's like instantly it takes a turn, and you're like, this is why it's an 18. Because up until then, there's nothing in it.
No, there is nothing in it.
There is nothing in it.
There's maybe some like suggestive content.
There's one part where one of the girls from the family says to Brad Pitt's character, "Do you want me to?" I wouldn't even say it, but she says something very, because it's cringy as fuck.
It's cringy, but it's also very out there. Well, not out there, but it's very out of place.
Yeah, it's like, I'm watching a Tarantino film. Yeah. It feels like that, but then the last 10-15 minutes, it takes a turn. He is literally, there's one part where he's just hammering this girl's head off like a shelf at a fireplace, and then hammer it off like a telephone.
Right. So the bit I don't like about the scene is the fact that I like the scene. I like the sort of like the kinetics of it. It's very exciting.
It's okay to like it because it has been quite a slow ride.
Yeah, and then it's the release, it's the climax of this entire thing. But Brad Pitt does go and smoke this cigarette, and it's like he's drugged, he's out of it, but there's absolutely no consequences to that. Just something happens, and then he goes.
Yeah, that's true. Happens. Yeah, that like there's when they first break in, he's like, "Are you real?" But it's not as if like maybe if he's been built up, like there's a part where he fights Bruce Lee and he wins basically, and then like he's been built up to be this big army, like he can do anything, he's like built like a tank, and then he kind of like because he's drugged, he fucks it up, like he can't hit them or something like that. But it just goes into like a mode. I was expecting like something like the scene from Wolf of Wall Street where like Leo's trying to get into the car. Like something like that. Yeah. That wouldn't work in the context. Mm-hmm. I do very much enjoy the sort of beginning of that scene where like obviously the Manson family like come in, and what is it? It's text that says, "I am the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work." Mm-hmm. Again, it's striding the line between like good taste and bad taste, because I'm pretty sure that is a quote from Manson. Yeah. Like, I don't understand how the film is steeped in sort of bad taste, but it still kind of works. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Like I'm going to see it again on Sunday. Again, but with Stephanie. But it was Steph. But I don't know. Like I think, and I didn't kind of enjoyed it. It's more of a thumbs up than a thumbs down. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Like it looks great. And you hated it when you came in. I did hate it when I came out, but like I've been thinking about it more, and it's the whole idea of like I liked little nuggets of it, and I feel like that's the same with like a lot of Tarantino's films, where like I hate the overall kind of arc of it, but like I like little conversations, or I like little bits. Yeah, sure. Where do you like? So, are we done with that? I don't know. Anything else to add? Right. So I kind of should we maybe talk a bit more about Sharon Tate? Yeah, sure. Like, so Sharon Tate is kind of like played by Margot Robbie, which I hated her performance the second it came out, but the more I think about it, the more I actually have grown to kind of like it. She's this sort of like symbol of innocence. Yeah, and sure. I feel like she kind of does that well. Like she kind of like does look like a triumph as she's going through things. Yeah. She does sound like her voice is great. Like although she doesn't sound like Harley Quinn, she does actually have that sort of like wistfulness of the period. No, I don't like her. You don't like her, Margot Robbie, and really anything I've seen her in. I don't think she comes across as likeable at all. I don't know why. Did you prefer Margot Robbie, or did you prefer the young hippie? I can't remember what her name is. Pussycat. I didn't really like. I loved Robin for like the couple of minutes she's in it. I didn't like. I don't know, man. I didn't. This sounds bad, but I didn't like the wee girl in it. I thought she was awful. Is it right? So there's this thing on, I think it's Reddit, where it's like. There's a whole subreddit devoted to men writing women. Right. Is that maybe an issue of it? It's like it's not believable. It's not real. I don't know, because like Jackie Brown, the character, is written really well. Right. So I think Jackie Brown is a little bit of an anomaly, because Jackie Brown isn't wholly written by Tarantino. It's based on a novel. Fair enough. It's adapted. I don't know what's Patricia Arquette. Is she written well? I've not seen True Romance in a long time. So Patricia Arquette is like that sort of, it's the origins, I think, of that sort of whole manic pixie dream girl, like trope. So the worst. Yeah, that's very. What's her name in Pulp Fiction? She's like the real one. The Bruce Willis's the girlfriend. Is she? She's French. Is she French? Yeah, the one that's like, I want to eat blueberry pancakes, and she's the fucking worst, man. She's the worst thing in that film. I mean, Uma Thurman's alright in Kill Bill, but there might be a small issue of that, where it's like maybe Tarantino isn't the best at doing female characters. I just thought they were all quite irritating. I was all like, what's her name in it? The girl that's like the head
Oh, Dakota Fanning's character?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that was her. She looked so different.
Yeah.
So different. But yeah, they were all just a wee bit like, oh, just shut up. I like Pussycat. Like, I thought she was like likeable and quite entertaining. And quite when she's like hitchhiking, she's very animated and quite like entertaining to watch. But
I think she was the best female character out of the bunch. She was most animated. She just had a good look about her. You know what I mean?
Oh, take it easy. She was underage. Apparently,
she was underage, but she, like you could very much believe that character was real.
Yeah,
or could be real.
Was that fucking Jonah Hill's sister when they go to the party and she's like dancing with her?
When was this?
Because it looked like her. The party where Steve McQueen, who looked like he'd been on heroin for about 20 years, the guy that got to play him.
It might be. I think it was meant to be Big Mama Cass.
Yeah, but I'm sure that was Jonah Hill's sister.
Yeah, from Booksmart.
Yeah, I think that was her.
Was it her?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Get back to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird film. There's so many films made about it. There's a film called Ghost at the Door that's about the night Sharon Tate was murdered. There's a film with Hilary Duff that plays, and she is like psychic, and she kind of foresees. Stephanie watched it. She told me about it, and I was like laughing out loud.
I've never heard of this.
It's on Now TV, and she kind of like foresees her death coming.
Right.
And now there's this, so it's like a hot topic. Right.
So we'll get away from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? We'll kind of bookend it with, would you recommend it?
Yes.
So is that like a half thumbs up?
It's super safe. It's too safe.
Too safe.
But I did like it. I thought it was okay.
I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it.
Where does it rank in his many films?
The bottom third. Definitely, like, for me anyway. Like,
below what? Like, what's below that?
It's below...
So we've got Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill, Death Proof.
So I'm not a big fan of the Kill Bills in general. So I would rank it above Kill Bill 1 and 2, and I would rank it above Death Proof.
I've never seen Death Proof, so I'm glad you've got an opinion.
Death Proof is just a weird... It's the whole issue with like just exploitation, and that's all it is. It's just... It's nothing. It was a 45-minute short that was developed into an hour and a half film, and it doesn't work.
Right, okay. I've never really heard much about it or anything
no
like
one's
that.
heard much about it. It's not a good film.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay.
Is that the one...
It's the one with Kurt Russell, that's the stuntman.
Right, okay. I have no idea what it is. Is it Machete that he produced or something like that?
So, Tarantino produced Machete. It was directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Right, okay.
So Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino have like this sort of like partnership where like they went into making a film together. It was called Grindhouse, and it was basically a part 1 and 2 to it. There was Planet Terror and then there was Death Proof. So Planet Terror was like a sort of like zombie action film. It was made by Robert Rodriguez, and then Quentin Tarantino did the sort of B-side. He did the second part. It was sort of paying homage to like the double features of like the 60s, 70s and 80s.
Right, okay.
It's fine. I feel like that's what I'm going to get out of most of Tarantino's films. They're just okay.
I don't know, like, I think Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are like amazing.
Reservoir Dogs is great.
I like 90% of Reservoir Dogs. I don't like some of the dialogue is a bit, I know it sounds pathetic, but like crude. It's almost too hard to like listen. There's a lot of like racial language, and there's a lot of them talking about women, and it's really horrible. And I'm not just being like, I'm a fucking like man living in 2019, but it is like, it's quite like, this is horrible. When he talks, when Vic Vega or Victor Vega, whatever one is in it.
He's Vic. No, is he Vic? Is Vic or Vince?
Vince is Pulp Fiction. So yeah, right. It's Mr. Blonde, and he's just out of prison, and Chris Penn, the one that's dead. Nice guy, whatever his name is in the film, but people will know who I'm talking about. And he's like saying just a lot of like prison rape jokes about like black people and stuff. And it's like, what is this? Who is this for? And I know in interviews, Quentin Tarantino's been like, this is how they are mob people who are like probably racist. This is how they would talk. But I'm like, it doesn't need to be in a film.
Yeah, but like, do you not think Reservoir Dogs is like the tightest Tarantino film?
It's like a fucking play.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's literally like they could do that on the stage. It's so tight, and it's like under 2 hours.
It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Perfect. The only part that really sticks out for me is Tim Roth when he's like, "He shot me, man," in the back of the car, because that is fucking awful.
Tim Roth was like universally praised for that performance.
Not like, and I think his story is like, are you okay? You got an itchy eye?
I've just got an itchy eye. I'm crying. I just love Tim Roth. You're slagging Tim Roth, and I love him. He's my dad.
I like the story. The story of him like learning the story to tell, like the drug dealing story about the being in the toilet and all the police and the police dog being there. But just when it like opens with him being like, she shot me, man, I can't believe it, I'm gonna die, man. It's like, what is this? This is cringy as fuck.
It's cringy, but it's great. I love it. I feel like it's very much a debut like film.
Yeah,
like
it is. Isn't it?
It's the first one that's written and directed.
It's his first real. It's the biggest independent film of all time.
Yeah, wasn't it was.
Who shot me, man?
Who was it that distributed it at first? Or was it
Miramax? Yeah.
Miramax, so it must have been like one of their flagship titles, though. Sure.
And they made a lot of money off of it. Obviously, probably still are. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't really like about it. But yeah, the script is just maybe a wee bit hard going. Pulp Fiction, I can't really fault, apart from the Pixie Dream Girl. She's like the only real.
There's right. So I'm gonna go a bit off topic here, right? Where,
oh my god!
Not off topic, but you know what I mean. I gave you a copy of Chungking Express.
Didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it yet?
Not yet.
But it follows the same sort of like episodic kind of narrative structure of Pulp Fiction that came out the same year. And I think it's a much better film.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything wrong with Pulp Fiction. I just don't particularly like any of the characters.
What?
Like I do like the characters. I like Sam Jackson. I like John Travolta, and I like the Wolf. But like, it doesn't gel with me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I might just be like contrarian now though, because I've met so many people that are like, my favourite film is Pulp Fiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an easy one to go.
It is an easy one to go for, and I've just heard about it so much that maybe it's just like reactionary now, where I'm like, I hear about it and there's just distance, there's cognitive dissonance there, where I'm like, is it that good? But
yes,
it is good.
I would say it is that good.
I like it. I like a lot of it.
Yeah, like I don't think it's overrated. I totally understand the praise it gets, and I think it's warranted.
It is warranted. I can get it, but like when I'm watching it, I don't particularly feel as if I'm really enjoying myself when I'm watching it. It's not joyous to watch. It's kind of hard going for me.
It's hard going, but I think it feels like quirky.
It's quirky.
A bit. It's funny. It's got some funny points.
To come back to Tim Roth, like my favourite part of the film is Tim Roth and his girlfriend. Like they're about to like
Honey Bunny.
Yeah, Honey Bunny. Yeah. Their sort of like relationship is like my favourite part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just when they're about to initiate the robbery. Love it.
Yeah, not just sitting talking about the best people to rob. Yeah, but it's like it's a believable relationship. It seems like they genuinely love each other. Like when Sam Jackson has got Tim Roth's character like at his table and he's got him at a gun. And Honey Bunny is like freaking out because like this is all going wrong. Do you know what I mean? What do you think's in the briefcase?
Doesn't matter.
This is the thing that he said, because he's been probably asked like every day. He's like, it's whatever you want it to be.
It's whatever you want it to be. Could be like, I don't know many things that give off an orange shimmery glow.
It's a homage to, I think it's Faster Pussycat. There's a scene in that where because obviously he's a big fan of that, but there's a theory that it is
like diamonds or something.
No, apparently it was going to be originally the diamonds from Reservoir Dogs.
Right. Okay.
But what's the guy's name? Wallace?
Marcellus Wallace.
He's got a plaster on the back of his neck, and there's a theory that it's his soul which has been sucked out the back of his neck, and that's why he wears a plaster. But yeah,
I think I would enjoy it more if that was true.
That's the actual story of it.
I can appreciate that kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it's great. But Jackie Brown from '97, what's the consensus on that?
Jackie Brown's great. That is.
Seriously, I couldn't get through it last night. I think I was just tired.
It's much slower paced than Pulp Fiction or anything he's ever done, but for a crime movie, for a caper, for a heist, it's fantastic.
Where's the heist in it?
The heist is sort of at the end, so obviously Jackie Brown's character is smuggling money into the US because the whole plot is Samuel L. Jackson's an arms dealer. He's selling guns abroad and he needs Jackie Brown, this air stewardess, to bring money into US borders so that he can get paid almost. The whole thing is she gets nabbed and gets turned by Michael Keaton and things like Michael Bolan or something like that. I think that's the name of the guy. To basically rat on Sam Jackson, and she is trying to play both sides off against each other, but also trying to get the money that's going to Sam Jackson, but she's also trying to get paid by Sam Jackson to not rat on him to go, and she's going to go to jail for it. But it's her trying to get out of this sort of nightmare scenario while also kind of like romancing her bail bondsman.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's got so much depth that I think...
I didn't get that at all in the first hour. I thought it was quite dull.
The first hour is a bit more of a slow build, but the last half hour, the last act is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Like Robert De Niro in it.
Robert De Niro's very good.
Yeah.
It's just a bit strange.
Yeah, he's just there.
So there's a whole thing where like towards I think it's it's the middle of the movie or the end of the movie. But did you see it when he shot Bridget Fonda?
No, well, I've seen it before,
right?
And I remember that obviously, but
comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's in like, is he in like a car park?
Yeah,
so she's just like slowing him down. So
they're in a car park. I don't think he's even like broken any laws at this point. But like Bridget Fonda is just so annoying as a character that she was just absolutely like grating on him. So he just pulls out a gun and shoots her. And it's perfect. And he's just walking away like nothing happens. It's very Tarantino. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it. Like Jackie Brown's up there. Maybe like top 3 for me because it also has like the best story to me.
Okay.
Maybe because he's not actually written it completely by himself.
Right. Yeah.
He had like something to work from.
Maybe I should go back and watch the last hour and a half.
Yeah, that's great.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, it's fine. My favourite part of it again isn't even like the Tarantino part of Kill Bill. I really like the animated part for Ren. Like what's her name?
I've not seen Kill Bill since it came out.
So there's Lucy Liu's character.
Sure.
It's her backstory, and there's like a 20-minute animated sequence in the middle of the film. It's great.
Wow.
It's like really, really brutal, like sort of Japanese anime style stuff, and it's done by, I think it's Production IG. They're the same people that did like Ghost in the Shell, and it's like really sort of great, dark, adult,
like authentic sort of anime
stuff.
I've not seen. I don't know. I tried to rewatch the first one maybe like a year ago, and I just couldn't really get into it.
Yeah, I don't get into it as much. So some of the characters are cool. I like the whole. I feel like it could be a TV show. Or it could be like the wife, like it could be like Assassin of the Week.
Yeah, sure.
Like this week, the bride takes on Black Mamba.
Yeah.
This week,
she's great in it, Uma Thurman.
She is
like,
great.
And it's believable, like her like killing people. You know.
What is it? It's like there's still a lot of feet in that film, but.
Well, there's the Move Your Big Toe
scene,
which I'll never forget. Yeah,
it takes about half an hour.
Yeah, it's just literally her like staring at her feet, which I'm sure Tarantino was loving. And then there's Death Proof, which I've not seen.
Yeah, there's nothing really much to go on. It's not even like an official written and directed by Tarantino movie. It's kind of distanced themselves away from it a wee bit.
Right.
It's fine. I feel like Tarantino stuff, you'll probably enjoy it. It is more like a horror. It's more like... have you ever seen Duel by Steven Spielberg? It's his first movie.
No.
So Duel is like Jaws, but on a highway.
Right, okay.
And it's great. It's like a better version of what Death Proof wants to be.
Okay.
Death Proof wants to be an ultra-violent version of that, where it's Kurt Russell that is like... He's Death Proof. Like, he's unafraid of death, so he keeps ramming his cars into other people in the middle of the night. And,
what?
Yeah, no, it's like he literally gets on the highway and plays chicken with people.
Right, okay.
And he doesn't get out of the way because he knows he can't be killed.
But he actually cannot be killed.
He thinks he can't be killed.
Right, okay.
He very much obviously can, but that's the whole backstory to it. And then he kind of like preys upon the sort of like these five cheerleaders that are on a road trip.
Jesus
it's a bit seedy and it's a bit sleazy, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's definitely like maybe the worst Tarantino film, but...
Then we got Inglourious Basterds, which I really, really like, but you couldn't get through it last night? Did you try, or...?
I tried watching it last night, and it has the same issue that I have with, like... Again, I'm going to go back to it, but it feels like lots of little bits. It doesn't feel very connected to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it starts with, like... There's so much acting in the film.
Yeah, there's a lot of acting,
A lot of acting, a lot of, like, 10-minute monologues.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. It totally works in the film.
It does totally work, but I was rewatching it last night, and it just felt odd to me. It was like chapter 1, we're going to have this scene, chapter 2, this scene, chapter...
Is it actually in chapters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
It's very much split up like that.
But I think that's why the runtime doesn't feel as bad, because the first scene, like, you've got the like under the floorboards thing, which is probably like 15 minutes easily, but it doesn't feel like it because it's just like
it's very intense. It's very taut.
It's very good.
It's very good. Very good. But in terms of like in terms of that film, it doesn't work for me. Like I was watching it last night and I got to just before the bar scene. It was like making fast.
Oh god, you stopped before the bar scene?
I know, but I was really tired.
Jesus, man.
But the bar scene is fantastic.
Yeah,
like,
it's
my favourite Tarantino.
It's so tense. You know it's all going to go wrong, but you just don't know how. I think Eli Roth shit in it.
Yeah,
I don't think he's an actor.
He's definitely not an actor. I don't like the character either. I don't like the bear Jew.
I don't think he's believable as this big.
He's not buff enough.
Yeah. He's just kind of like. I know he comes out and you think like, oh my god, this guy's going to be terrifying. And
I would much rather the guy that you got to play Stiglitz in that role.
Yeah.
I think that would be better.
He's fucking crazy.
He's crazy, but also like he's buff, but also he's got like a very square face.
Yeah.
He's like robotic kind of nature. It's great.
I guess they're just friends, Eli Roth and Tarantino. So he was like, "I'll put you in the film."
Well, it's like Eli Roth has started making films that are more like Tarantino films now. Like he made like The Green Inferno, which is like a remake of like exploitation films from like what is it, 70s? It's like zombie movies, cannibal movies. But I don't know. I'm not into him as much.
He's okay. I was still always going to see stuff. The last thing he'd done. No, he'd done House with the Clock in its Walls. That was the last thing he'd done. Death Wish. He remade that. It's okay.
I feel like the only things I've seen by him are Cabin Fever and Hostel.
Hostel's I don't understand it, but the hate it really gets.
So it's okay.
It is what it is. Anyway,
it's horrific.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Inglourious Basterds, I think, is great though. I'd say that's up there.
Everyone is fantastic in it. Like Christoph Waltz, Brad Pitt. There's there's so many faultless performances. Yeah, the part where they're doing their Italian accents it's just that way. It's like it's hilarious, and it's like he obviously knows that these people are talking shit. Do you know what I mean? And the part where like the jig is very much definitely up. Yeah. And he's like getting them to repeat it, and it's just very good. He's very, very good. There's only one part of Inglourious Basterds which I really don't like, and it makes Quentin Tarantino like a right proper perv. It's when Hans Landa is strangling Diane Kruger's character, and like apparently Quentin Tarantino didn't trust Christoph Waltz to like strangle her good enough, so he was the actual one that was. Like, oh my god, what a freak! It's like it's actual like fetish material, and I'm like, it's not on. It shouldn't be allowed. Yeah. Jesus, man. And then you've got Django Unchained, which is... I feel like Leo's character in Django Unchained is very similar to the character that he plays in Hollywood, but in terms of like the Rick Cahill character, Rick Dalton. What just the mannerisms and stuff? It's just a Western character. Like. Oh, right, okay, yeah. I thought you meant like his everyday character. No, right? They're very different, but in Hollywood, Rick Dalton plays... Western TV heroes, and in the sort of latest edition he's playing a villain, and I feel like he draws upon Candy from Django? Yeah, he draws upon that character as a lot of inspiration. Yeah, I guess so. I think it's good. Like I think the film lags. It does lag, and then when it gets to it's half an hour too long. Yeah, but when it gets to him, I think that's when it picks up again. Well, was it too Tarantino as a character? No, fuck that. He's terrible in it with his Australian. Why was he doing an Australian accent? Just don't put yourself in it. He's a cookie crazy guy. Yeah, I didn't like that. But no, once it gets to like their farm, like their cotton farm. Yes. I knew it was called something, but I think that's when it picks up again. But I don't like Jamie Foxx in it. I think Christoph Waltz is like the selling point. Yeah, it's the selling point. And I guess that's the point, and they are like friendship. Right, but this is an issue with me with Tarantino just in general. I feel like a lot of his characters are the same. Mm-hmm. I find Christoph Waltz and Django to be almost indistinguishable in performance to Inglourious Basterds. Yeah, but that's it's just Christoph Waltz. I think you're just getting Christoph Waltz when you hire Christoph Waltz, which is good for the most part. Because he's the same as Spectre. Yeah, it's just that kind of like excitable villain. So where do you rank Django in terms of like the whole thing? Because it's like I don't rate it that highly either. I think it a bit too gratuitous. See, to be honest, once I was looking at his films like as a list of ones that he's written and directed like total control over, I was like, I only like 1, 2, like 3, 4, like 5 really. Like I think it started off so strongly with Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs that like people kind of look at him as this hallmark of like quality. But they shouldn't. Yeah. They should be a bit more critical of Tarantino. But I think that's why he's getting like... I remember when we're going to talk about The Hateful Eight as well, when that came out and it was like, oh, he's shown it in film as it's meant to be. It's got the intermission, it's got the overture at the start, you get a programme with it and all that. If that was a director coming out now, like they'd be like, are you fucking... You want to film on actual film? Are you creative? Do you know how much that will cost? Like do it on digital. They know you're not getting to do like a road show with it, you know. But studios definitely wouldn't placate as much. Yeah. They wouldn't be like, right, you're doing it. Yeah. You're a big name. We've got you back. Hateful Eight, I think, is the most self-indulgent one. Is it? For me, have you seen it? So I've not seen Hateful Eight. To me, that because it's free. It's still close to 3 hours, just like the rest of them. But that is literally like that came out just after Django, didn't it? So it was Django, Hateful Eight. 3 years? Yeah. But it's right after, yeah. So it's usually about 3 years between Tarantino films anyway. Do you remember the whole like controversy with like the script leaking and things like that? And then Tarantino like hating the fact that people knew what was going to happen before he filmed it.
Well, I remember, the only thing I really remember about that is the whole, it got pulled out at some cinemas because they couldn't come to an agreement about like Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, because it came out on Christmas Day in America.
Right.
And he wanted it in like the biggest screens, I guess. But they were like, nah, Star Wars. It just came out. Wars. So that'll be going in. And right. they couldn't come to an agreement.
So when Hateful Eight was in production, there was a whole thing where, I think it was Sony or whatever it was, in the big data.
Right, okay.
The Hateful Eight script was leaked and people knew what was going to happen. And Tarantino was very much a prima donna, a diva that was like, if people already know what's going to happen, I'm just going to rewrite the script.
Yeah.
So I've not seen it, but is there like any element of that where like, does the ending like feel dramatic, or does it feel different from like the rest of the film?
Well, it's a big twist, you know what I mean? I'm sure that's not a spoiler to say, but it doesn't feel like it comes out of like left field or anything. Right. You should watch. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, no, it's on Netflix. I've just watch it. It's very long.
Yeah, if you maybe watch it over 2 days, it's good. Like all the performances are good and stuff like that, but it does just feel like, especially for that one when he took it on the road show and stuff like that, it does feel like he's been like, I can fucking do what I want. Do you know what I mean? But it's definitely worth a watch if that's the only one you've not seen. If you've seen Death Proof and you've not seen The Hateful Eight, like definitely give it a watch.
Death Proof is pretty short. I'm not into like 3 hour films. Well, I'm into 3 hour films, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, that's where we stand with Quentin Tarantino. Keep making films, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
you freak.
Keep making them. He is a freak.
Yeah.
Some of them are good. Some of them are less good.
Yeah.
Usually they're pretty decent.
I don't know what else to say on him really. Like it's like he's. I think we said this at the start, but he is one of the last real people. More people are coming in and saying, "Have you seen the new Tarantino film? Then have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?" Do you know what I mean? So
there's a whole thing where he's definitely like one of the best directors that is a writer for dialogue.
Yes.
Every conversation that happens on screen in any film that he makes is electric.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely chemistry between every character in the film.
No, definitely. He knows what he's doing.
He does know what he's doing, but he is also a big cook.
Yeah, but good on him. Keep doing what you're doing until you get caught for having a dead woman's foot in your freezer or something like that. He's up to something.
Is he up to something?
Look at his face.
I think he's just a big nerd.
I watched, when I put on Jackie Brown yesterday, it was like introduced by Quentin Tarantino, and even something simple like that. Hi, I'm the director of Jackie Brown. I hope people have been waiting, because apparently that was a big thing. He was like, people have been waiting 5 years for this. Hope you enjoy Jackie Brown. We had a lot of fun making it. But no, he's like, he's all like squirmy and wriggling in his seat and he does stroking his chin.
He does have a very particular voice though.
It's very shrill. But good on him. I think that'll do it because I got work.
You've got work?
And you've got to get drunk.
I've got to go get drunk.
You're going to see The Cure tonight.
Yeah. Can't wait.
It's exciting. Right, so thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what's happening next week because I've not really heard from Callum. Don't know if he's in the country. Don't know what's happening with him. I'm sure he's good. Are
you sure?
Yeah. He's always good.
We were literally just talking about Hostel.
He's fine. He was only in Edinburgh. That wouldn't happen in Edinburgh. Nothing bad happens in Edinburgh. Jack's moving to Edinburgh, isn't he?
Jack's moving there.
He'll be fine. Everyone will be fine. It's full of Tories.
Right. Are we officially ending this?
Yeah, this is it. Right. Thank you very much. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify and Facebook group and Instagram, all the good stuff.
All the things.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.